Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Loki, Episode 4, the Nexus Event. This was a really good episode coming back to, I think a lot of people seem to be a little disappointed with last week's episode, but this episode gave us all the twists and turns in story that I think everybody was like, okay, that was good. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with the young Sylvie on Asgard. We got to see Sylvie, Loki's variant, when she was very young and on Asgard, and when she was taken by the TVA, and Ravonna was there as one of the hunters, the Minutemen, I guess, that brought her in. And we don't really know why. And in the episode, towards the end, we do get Ravonna, or Sylvie, asking Ravonna the question, like, what was the Nexus event that had you take me in? Like, what was it? And she didn't get that answer, and Ravonna refused to answer that question. So I feel like we're going to get that in the next episode. By the way, I know last week I was all about, like, I think Sylvie is going to be turning out to be the Enchantress. I no longer think that. This episode made me realize, no, okay, maybe it looks like she is Lady Loki. They're just giving her a name rather than calling her Loki, because maybe Loki is more associated with a male name and maybe not a female name, so Sylvie can be the female name. I don't know. I still think it's weird that they're trying to get us to go with this Loki possible relationship, romantic relationship with Sylvie. I mean, Loki is so full of himself that he would fall in love with himself. I don't know. I know you changed. This is like a different Loki where she's a girl now, but it's still him at the end of the day, or her, however you want to call her. It's still the same person in a way. So just because this version of Loki changed their appearance doesn't make it the same Loki. I don't know. I think it crosses the incest border in some ways, because it's like you're making out with yourself. But I mean, is that a parallel or a metaphor on how full Loki is of himself, that he would get into a relationship with himself? I don't know. But even Mobius was like kind of hinting at it. Oh my goodness, you're falling in love with yourself in some sick, twisted way. Like, he even pointed that out. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. But maybe not. Maybe I'm looking too much into the relationship, and maybe they'll just be very good friends. Who knows? Loki can be friends with himself, which at the end of the day would probably make the most sense. Although I really do love the Loki and Mobius dynamic that I think was missing from the last week's episode. I'm so glad it was back in this episode. We got to see Mobius, doing the detective work again, or not too much of the detective work, but like figuring things out. Like, things don't make sense to him because he found out that C20, who was the girl that was enchanted last week by Sylvie, and she snuck into her mind and all that, and that's when she told Sylvie told Loki that, yeah, that girl that I enchanted, yeah, I saw in her past memories. And because of that, it looks like it got her to be pruned, right? It got her to be wiped out. They call it pruning. But Mobius, at first, because Ravonna is clearly sidestepping what actually happened, Mobius starts to wonder, like, oh, okay, so you had to kill her because the Sylvie messed her up, or this variant messed her up. But he knows something's wrong about it. And so when Loki later tells him, hey, look, you're all variants. The TVA, all this, it's a sham. The Time Masters have been lying to you guys. They plucked you out from different timelines, and now they're messing with you. And Mobius denies it at first and puts Loki in a prison. And he, it was interesting seeing Mobius go through this and eventually obviously come to terms with, okay, I think Loki is telling me the truth here. It shows how much he does trust Loki to a degree, and how much his senses on trusting him really works. So I really did love seeing that dynamic return this week, and their relationship really blossom, I guess, when the ultimate sacrifice happens later on, which I did not see coming at all. Like, but is he dead? Because now I'm not too certain because of something else that happens in the episode, which I'll get to. But let's also talk about Hunter B-15. Hunter B-15, who we've seen in the episode in the show since the beginning as well. She's been great. I think she's awesome. I found out that the actress who plays her is the same actress from Batman v Superman who accuses Superman of killing those people in the beginning of that movie. And I didn't, when I found out it was her, I was like, wait, what? Because she has an accent in that movie that it threw me off a little bit because, but then again, it's acting, right? And sometimes even with the acting, you have to put on different accents sometimes. So it just shows how good she is, I think. And she's been great in this role. There's been some really great moments. And I think she had some great moments here, especially when she took Sylvie out to the rain. And throughout my mind, I was thinking, so is she gonna beat her or something? Because it looked like she was getting ready to beat her. But then it's like, no, she wanted to know those memories that she got when Sylvie touched her head before. So it was interesting seeing that reveal and how that played out towards the end as well. It was interesting seeing how everything was playing out, getting towards this climax at the end of the episode. One of the things that I really loved, though, was seeing Lady Sif return. Lady Sif, played by Jamie Alexander. She hasn't been in the films since Thor: The Dark World back in 2013, but I think her last appearance was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in either 2014 or 2015. So it was great seeing her back. Some people like myself were aware that she was coming back because she kind of hinted at it when she was going onto a plane that was heading towards where Loki was being filmed last year. So everybody kind of had this hint that we might see her pop up. I thought her role would be a lot bigger than what we got. It was a nice little fun cameo, but for what it was really great seeing her back. And I think I heard rumors that she might be in Thor: Love and Thunder as well, hopefully for a bigger role, not just a cameo. Not to like what they need her for, you know. It would be nice for the films to acknowledge that Lady Sif was still out there, because we never saw her get killed in Thor Ragnarok. The Warrior 3 were there, they all got killed, but not Lady Sif. So she could have been off planet or anything doing all that, and then maybe eventually finding her way back to Asgard. Who knows? So it would be interesting if if Thor: Love and Thunder does bring her back, which is rumored. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I also want to talk about the Time Masters, because I think the Time Masters were the big thing from this episode. Well, there's two big things, but the big climax eventually led to the Time Masters. And right in the beginning, we do see Ravonna after the whole, I think it was after the whole little young Sylvie scene. We see Ravonna go up to the Time Masters to talk to them, and we see them shrouded in darkness. So I figured, okay, they're probably going to tease them at the end of the episode, and then we'll learn more about them in the next one. But no, this episode shit goes to hell, and we get when Loki and Sylvie are being taken to the Time Masters, we see them full front and center. They even speak. They have a couple of lines of dialogue, and then this whole out battle goes out. And Ravonna's like, we gotta protect the Time Masters, and they're all fighting. It was like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Star Wars: The Last Jedi, when Kylo Ren and Rey were fighting in that throne room. It really reminded me of that scene. And funny enough, just like Snoke, we find out that the Time Masters are actually a bunch of bullshit. They're not real. They're not important. And who was responsible for creating the TVA, we have no idea still. But there's 2 episodes left, so it will be interesting to see who turns out to be that. And my my gut feeling is that it's going to be Kang. It has to be at this point. We know Kang the Conqueror is coming. According to Screen Crush and comic book purists, Kang has a relationship with Ravonna in the comics. So it will be interesting to see if that plays out. How and it seems like it. After all, Ravonna seems like she's the only one that is aware that everybody are variants, and that she's helping or she was helping the Time Masters keep it a secret. She seems to have a lot of secrets, and I think we are going to find that out with Sylvie next week, because as we saw, Sylvie was left with Ravonna captured. So, or she has Ravonna under her knees. So, and that was right after Ravonna killed Loki, or apparently killed, should we say, because hopefully you all saw the post-credit scene. That's right, this is the first Loki episode. They need to have a warning when they put a post-credit scene up on these episodes. Thankfully now I got in the routine of skimming through the credits for every episode, because Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, I was so confused when they put one up. I was like, wait, what? And then I went back later to find out that they did. I had to find out through the internet, because I didn't know which episodes had post-credit scenes. I don't watch the credits. I'm going to admit it. I have respect for the people that work on these things. It's just, guys, I have other things to do with my time. So we get to the post-credit scene, and what do we see? We see Loki waking up, and he hears somebody talking to him. He's wondering if he's in hell. He looks up and sees 4 other Lokis. That's right. He sees Kid Loki, who a lot of people have been wondering would show up in this season because he is part of the Young Avengers. We see Classic Loki, which has the comic book accurate costume, which was hilarious because it looks so cheesy. But that's how the classic Loki looked. And then they had Boastful Loki. I didn't know that was what that Loki was until it was I found out later on. And then they also had a lizard Loki. If you look at Kid Loki, he's holding on to a lizard with a Loki crown on. So I thought that was pretty funny too. So it's going to be interesting to get to know these characters. Like, is this the beginning of the multiverse? Is this giving us an idea of how maybe Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will show up in Spider-Man No Way Home? I think so. I think this is going to start, and the multiverse of madness with Doctor Strange as well. Also, we got to find out what this Nexus event is, because Sylvie asks Ravonna, what is this Nexus event that caused you to come to me and take me away? What was the Nexus event? So there is something there in the past in Sylvie's timeline that is clearly, there was something else there that I'm getting the impression that had nothing to do with Sylvie, that they went back there for and took her away. That's the impression I got anyway. So maybe anybody want to leave some theories in the comment section? Let me know. I'm willing to discuss that, and seeing what other people say. Maybe it will give me ideas on what to do for my next, maybe I can talk about it in the next review that I do, because we're already 2 episodes down, guys. This has been a great episode. I really love this episode. I'm loving this series. I think it's been a really great series so far. Time travel. I love time travel. If you know me, Back to the Future, X-Men Days of Future Past, Avengers Endgame. I've actually been going through quite a bit of time travel movies lately. The Star Trek movies, the Bill and Ted movies, you name it. There was another, the Terminator franchise. It's like, time travel, give me it, as long as it's really good. And there's a lot of great time travel television shows, like Legends of Tomorrow and The Flash, and Doctor Who. Obviously, a lot of people love Doctor Who. Actually, that's the only one I haven't seen. You think I would, since I love time travel. The concept of it just makes me interested. Now you're adding the multiverse into this concept. It's like, okay, this is going to be fun. Yeah, so with that being said, guys, tell me your thoughts. Now I want to thank my Patreon supporters. That's right, I have a Patreon page, patreon.com/David Jordao, where you can become a Patreon member if you want, or if you can, and donate either $5 or $10, and you will get a credit at the end of each video, like these great people who have donated already. I put the $10, even though I know not a lot of people will probably pick that one, but if you can, it will help this channel greatly, because I do want to grow this channel. I don't want to stay the small potato channel forever. I want to eventually focus my time and energy only on this channel, but that can only help if I get enough support to do that. And look, 4 people, I didn't even think I'd get 1 person. So the fact that I got 4, thank you very much, guys. Your dedication to me is very much appreciated. And you know, I wish I could give more. I wish, but all I can do is this, because, you know, I'm not rich or anything, but it shows that there are good people out there, and they will help if they can. And I don't want to put pressure on those that can't, because I know everybody is struggling. So I get it if you can't. So no pressure. But if you can, the $5 tier is the one that I'm hoping most people would go for anyways, because it's I think the best offer I can give. So with that being said, guys, I think that's about it. So I hope you guys can like this video, and I hope maybe pass a link around to people who watch Loki and tell them, hey, check out this guy's review. He does a pretty good job, because watching the videos and liking the videos, they also help this channel grow. So because of the algorithm and all that. So with that being said, guys, thank you to my Patreon supporters one more time. I really want to thank you guys. And with that being said, thank you to everybody else that's watching. And until next time, take care.